I want to stay in school, right? Because like I said, I think the biggest thing that I saw from, from the research that I did and then all the information and material that you gave me was how you shined academically. Like every time I was reading like the credentials, it was all academic this, all academic that, honors, honors, honors. You know what I mean? So I want you to talk about the importance of being a student athlete, right? Because I know, and especially I know when I was in school, like when we were playing ball and things of that nature, like I'm be honest with you, we wouldn't think we was athlete. We ain't care about student athlete. We was only thinking about athlete. Um, how important is that? Um, I think athletes sometimes, or young athletes, when they're getting into their athletic career, their academics take a back seat for a variety of reasons. It could be because they feel like they're entitled to that old something because they're an athlete and they're playing on these teams, or it could be because whatever. I want you to talk about the importance of being a student athlete because that's something that you got in spades. Talk about that.
I would say honestly, the importance of me being a student athlete is I want to set myself different from everyone else, especially the people that was the color of my skin. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was from the west side of Chicago, L Town. So being from North Avenue and Leamington, North Avenue and Laramie, it was always where people thought that we weren't smart, or people thought that we didn't have, good grades, or people thought something else, a different persona. So me going into school, I honestly I want to set that different. I want to set that straight. Not only am I, it say Chicago, Illinois on my bio, but this Chicago, Illinois young woman is very smart, is very educated, is someone that's going to be something in life. And the real is because when you go to college, your coach is not playing about study hall. So coach was like, if you get a 3.0 or higher, you ain't got to be in study hall. I would say 2 hours a day and do good grades, do good, get good grades, or do whatever to not be in study hall. At the end of the day, that's 10 hours a day that I'm wasting. I ain't got to be in study hall if I just have a 3.0 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest, my tears be like, dang, Kietta, you ain't never in study hall. That's because I don't have to be. That's because I'm doing what I need to do.
Talk. Talk. Keep going.
So if I can save 10 hours a day and go in the gym, or to put up some shots, or just chill while I'm in college, have fun, why not? Why not be both? And at the end of the day, people don't understand a scholarship isn't a promise. It isn't, you can sign semester scholarships or you can sign yearly scholarships. I was grateful that I transferred three times out of my college career. Graduated on time, graduated with a master's. Did 4 years, graduated on time. Did 1 year, did my master's. It was paid for. It was paid for because I had good grades. And the last year of college, I took a step back role on the court because I told my coach I wanted to focus more on school. I wanted to focus more on my master's. And she respected that. And by the end of the day, she knew I was bringing to the program and what I had brought to the program previously. So I was grateful that she paid for that master's for me. I still did everything else, but I knew at the end of the day, I was going to get this master's for this 1 year because she's paying for this 1 year. I was going to do whatever it took to get this master's. And also, I knew I still had basketball to actually fall back on if I needed it to.
How does one get to that point where you get to the point to where you're at this point in your academic or in your student athletic journey, and you say, you know what, coach, well, I love the game, I love to play, I really, really want to lock in and focus on my sports. Like how did you, especially with your love and your passion for athletics, your love and your passion for sports, being a captain, being a leader, just getting into that leadership role of not just being a great player, but just being a great leader on and off the court. How do you say, you know what, that's all fine and dandy, but my eyes really need to be on these books? How do you get to that point? Was it like some point in your life that made you realize that it could have been a spot? It could have been a situation where your studies could get you further than your athletic ability, or was it just a point to where you just felt in your spirit that it was something that you needed to focus on?
To be honest, you want to be real? It was a relationship. Okay. Me seeing how much you can actually make in a contract and me seeing your actual potential. I think that year I was a week late to school, and my coach knew something wasn't right. It was because at the end of the day, it wasn't that I didn't love basketball anymore. It was just life fit. I and then, to be honest, I done seen a lot of contracts, women and men. When they first go overseas, they're not making as much. So you're actually putting your body. You can sustain it. I'm not saying like I at the end of the day, I got full respect for everybody to follow their dreams. But for those that actually go out there, you gotta think you're putting your body in pain. I knew my body couldn't handle being overseas for that long, 8 months a year, for having 2 to 3 practices a day, for me actually having a knee injury and me getting paid $500. Nah, I couldn't. I could see myself actually being an entrepreneur and making 6 figures a year, 6 to 7 figures a year, or making 50 plus thousand a year with my first year out of school and doing great in that and actually be doing something I love. If that's coaching, if that was being in logistics in the career, if that was being in finance, something I went to school for, if that was mentoring a youth, if that was me in my non-for-profit. So that year she said, I think it was like, she was like, yeah, there's something not right. Something don't feel right. And I said, yeah. She said, do you want to be here? I said, yeah, I do want to be here, coach. I said, but I think I'm growing as a person. I'm hitting my adulthood. Like I'm happy I'm here. I'm grateful that you paid for my school, but this master's, it's not a lot of people that have masters, and now it's education. With you having a master's, that's not anything. Now you need a doctorate, or now you really need to put yourself out there to actually network. Your network is your net worth. People don't understand that. So it's not about just playing basketball for the rest of your life. Because as you see, those people that was in Ukraine that played basketball, guess what happened? They got to come to the States now, or they're trying to actually sacrifice something to get back to the United States. You're always sacrificing something, and I don't think I was no longer willing to. I think I sacrificed a lot for basketball. I sacrificed time for my family, sacrificed time for my friends, sacrificed time for like a lot of stuff, miss birthdays, miss holidays. So I was like, okay, let me have control of it again. I don't want to have basketball have control of it. I think basketball was paid for and where I'm at, but it's just time for me actually to have my own destiny and to make that.
I think that's one of the realest things ever because, and when I mean by real, I don't mean by real by you, you know, like having that mentality to say like, or just having that discipline or just having the fortitude to say, you know what, like I want to go another route. I mean that by it's hard for people to get to a point in life and say, okay, I did all this sacrifice for this said thing, and I sacrificed friends, like you said. I sacrificed family. I sacrificed relationships. I sacrificed XYZ. You know, I want to take back control of that. And I want to find something in my life that's going to bring me long term happiness. It doesn't mean goodbye basketball. It doesn't mean I never play again. It doesn't mean I never play sports again. It doesn't mean I won't be surrounded by the sport again that I love. What I'm saying is that I'm going to now take back control of my life, my destiny, and do other things that I've had aspirations to do, other things that I'm focused on, and things of that nature. That's big of you, man, because a lot of people can't do that. I have problems doing that with things that I do in my life, where it's like, okay, I done sacrificed so much. And because you feel like you done sacrificed so much, you feel like you owe it to yourself to keep going.
Yeah.
Right. When in reality, you should probably take a step back and be like, you know what?
Law Beats.